Today we are going to do the topic of transportation. It is transportation problem. And I introduced this topic in the last lecture. I will once again rewind as to what we have done. Prior to transportation, we had done the topic of linear programming. In that, we had done problems of minimization and maximization. Transportation problems, we have said that it is going to be a special type of linear programming problem. So, what we are going to do here, if it is a linear programming problem, either we are going to pick up problems of minimization or we are going to take problems of maximization. Transportation problems are actually faced in day-to-day life, practical life. One second. Yeah. So, as I said that in the last lecture, we were doing the topic of linear programming. Transportation is a part of or a special type of linear programming problem. Now, if it is a type of linear programming problem, it means that either we are going to do minimization or maximization. Now, if you go to see practical life also, we are going to face this problem. And in CMA final, the same topic is there. And all these topics, as I told you, linear programming, assignment, transportation, queuing models, PERT and CPM techniques, which we are going to do. All of that is there in CMA final also. So if you are doing this, you are covering 30% marks of CMA final at the same time. Okay. So what are we doing in transportation actually? In transportation, the problem is that of minimization. That we have to transport goods from one place to another place. So there is an origin or a source of supply. An origin or a source of supply, which is subject in final. In a final, it is coming under strategic cost management and decision making. So it is a part of costing only. Okay. So, Venkata, you are trying to test my knowledge or what? I'm teaching at final. Your present CMS batch of final is being taught by me only. And immediately after your lecture, their lecture is there. Your lecture ends at 5:15, 5:30. Their lecture starts at 6:30. So I'm teaching them same subject only. And they are having all these topics. So if you are having any friends in the CMA final, you can ask them. Prabodh sir is teaching strategic cost management. Yes, Shreya, what can I do for you? Sound is low, so increase the volume. Increase the volume of your mobile or increase the volume of your laptop, whatever the instrument you are using. If you are logging in through a laptop, then there is a sound button. So the phone, if you are using the phone, then you have to keep the phone on the maximum volume so that you can hear me. Or the next option is earphones. Connect through the earphones. So, as I said, we have what is called as a source or a origin of supply, where from where the goods are being distributed. So the source of supply or the origin of supply, there may be one origin or one source, and you may have say 4 or 5 destinations to reach out to. So is it possible to reach out to all the destinations? And where you will be transporting, where you will not be transporting, which route you are going to take, which route you are not going to take, depends upon what is the cost of transportation. If the cost of transportation is very high, I may not undertake that route at all. Okay, so the topic here, that is transportation problem, deals with selection of routes and the total transportation cost that will be involved in transporting the goods from various, not one, but various sources or origins to various destinations. That is the problem of transportation. So transporting the goods from one place or a number of places to a number of different destinations. Okay, that is what is called as a transportation problem. So let us come to the theoretical aspect. Okay. So we had said transportation problem is a special kind of linear programming problem. I have given you this PDF, so you can refer to that. Transportation problem is a special kind of linear programming problem in which the goods are transported from a set of sources, that means a number of sources are there, to a set of destinations, a number of destinations are there, subject to the supply and demand of the source and destination. This is important. Highlight this. Subject to the supply and demand of the source and destination respectively. And what is the objective? Total cost of transportation is minimized. This is the objective. So minimization of cost is the objective of transportation problems. Therefore, we say that it is a type of linear programming problem, because in linear programming also we try to minimize the cost, maximize the profit. Okay, so now next what you can see there, the total supply available at the origin and the total quantity demanded by the destinations are given in the statement of the problem. So you are given how much is the quantity available at the source and how much is the quantity demanded at the destination. The cost of shipping a unit of goods from a known origin to a known destination, that is also given. What we are supposed to do, we are supposed to find out what will be the routes that we are going to adopt, that we are going to accept for the transportation of the goods from source to the destination. That is what the transportation problem is all about. Okay, so as I told you in the last lecture, we had done some drawing, we had done some table. So let us come back to the table again and see what we are trying to do. See, there may be Let us call this as destination 1, destination 2. Okay, there are 4 destinations, and we have source 1, source 2, source 3, from where we are supplying the goods. Now, here I am showing the quantity supplied, quantity demanded. Now, what may happen? See, what may happen is that I give you that here there are 20 units that can be supplied from S1, 30 units from S2, 10 units from S3. Quantity demanded at the 4 destinations. Say 8 units over here, 17 units over here, okay? Then 15 units over here, and then 30 units over here. Or let us say 20 units here. Okay, so from source 1, I can supply maximum 20 units. From source 2, I can supply maximum 30 units. And from source 3, I can supply maximum 10 units. Demand at destination 1 is 8 units. Demand at destination 2 is 17 units. At destination 3, it is 15 units. And at destination 4, it is 20 units. These are the different demands at different destinations. Now, the first thing that you have to do when you receive a problem, when you get a problem of transportation, what is going to be written inside the cell? Each one is called as a cell. We have got cell S1, D1. Okay, that is one cell. How do we refer to the cells? Row to column. So this is S1, D1. Okay, this is S1, D2. This is S1, D3. This is S1, D4. Like that. Okay, what will be written inside these rows is the cost of transportation of the goods from S1 to D1. Like for example, suppose I write over here 10. So it means that 10 rupees will be incurred for transporting 1 unit from S1 to D1. Suppose I write here 8. It means that 8 rupees will be the cost to transfer from S1 to D2. Okay, so like that the cost will be given here. I'm not worried about the cost here first. Okay, cost is not coming into the picture at all first. First, I'm supposed to, given a particular problem, my first job will be that, yes, I should be trying to compare as to what is the quantity demanded and what is the quantity supplied. Suppose now I add this 20 plus 30, 50 plus 10. So this quantity supplied is 60. Now 8 plus 17 is 25, 25 plus 15 is 40, 40 plus 20 is 60. So this is also 60. So in this particular block, I write it like this. Quantity supplied is 60. Quantity demand is also 60. So where demand is equal to supply. This type of a problem is called as balanced problem. This type of a problem is called as balanced problem. So when I get a problem, when I get a question, the first thing that we have to do, okay, is to find out whether the given problem is a balanced problem. We call it as balanced transportation problem, or whether it is an unbalanced transportation problem. Now, in this case, it is a balanced transportation problem. Achha, suppose, let us say that here I have 20. So this is 70. So here I write 70. So I can supply 70. I can supply 70, but my demand is only 60. So what we have to do is we have to add one more column for demand, one more column for demand. So in this case, what do you say? Demand is not equal to supply. Okay, quantity demanded is not equal to the quantity supplied. So it becomes a case of unbalanced transportation problem. Unbalanced transportation problem. Okay, so in an unbalanced transportation problem, we cannot solve it. Unbalanced transportation problem cannot be solved. Cannot be solved. So to solve the unbalanced transportation problem, what we should do, convert into balanced problem. Convert into balanced problem. So how do I convert into balanced problem? I have to increase this 60 by 10. So how do I increase? I add one dummy column. So I prepare the table now with D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. Okay, and I will have the quantity here. Here I will have S1, S2, S3. Quantity demanded. So this will be 8, 17, 15, 20. This will be 20, 30, and 20. This side we don't have to do anything. Problem is where problem is of quantity demanded. So this was 70. Now I want to make this also 70. So I will add 10 over here. Okay. Now this column, that is column D5, is called as dummy column. Okay. Or we call it as dummy demand column because it's a demand column. Dummy demand column. So now what will happen is that this is the column that I have added. Okay. Here the figures will be given to 8, 10, 12, say 17, then 6, 3, 2, 10. Some figures will be given here like 9, 11, 14, 20 and so on. These are the costs. I told you that whatever comes within the cells, these are the cost of transportation. Now this D5 column I have included and it is what? It is a dummy column. It is a dummy column. Practically it does not exist. Why did I include this dummy column? Because I wanted to convert the unbalanced transportation problem into a balanced transportation problem. So what will be the cost over here? The cost over here will be 0 throughout. The cost will be 0 throughout. So depending upon whether demand is less or supply is less, I insert one row or one column accordingly to convert the unbalanced transportation problem to a balanced transportation problem. Okay. So the first thing that you have to do when you get a question is to find out whether the total quantity supplied is equal to the total quantity demanded. If it is equal, it is called as a balanced transportation problem. If it is not equal, it is called as an unbalanced transportation problem. And if it is an unbalanced transportation problem, you cannot solve the problem until and unless you convert it into a balanced transportation problem. How to convert it into a balanced transportation problem? You find out whether the demand is more or supply is more. Whichever is less, there you add one row or one column accordingly. That is called as a dummy column or a dummy row. Okay. So when we are having such a problem, all the cost of the dummy row or the dummy column will be taken as 0. Okay. Now, after this, what we do? After we convert this into a balanced problem, then we solve the problem. How to solve a transportation problem? How to solve a transportation problem? Now, there are different methods of solving a transportation problem. There are 3 methods actually. Okay. What are the 3 methods of solving? Methods of solving. We can use any of the 3 methods if nothing is given in the question, but sometimes, not sometimes, but all the questions they will specify the method. The first method is called as northwest corner method. Northwest corner method. Northwest corner method. NWCM. Second method is called as least cost method. Minimum cost, least cost method. Okay, we call that as LCM, least cost method. And third method is called as Vogel's approximation method. Don't get frightened by the names. Nothing is there. Okay, Vogel's approximation method, which in short is called as VAM. VAM. Okay, so solving of a transportation problem can be done by using either of the three methods. The first one called as northwest corner method. The second one called as the least cost method. And the third one called as Vogel's approximation method. NWCM, I'll be using the short forms. Even in the examination, they will be using the short forms. NWCM, LCM, that is least cost method, and VAM, that is Vogel's approximation method. All the three methods, the basic way of solving the problem is more or less same. 90-95% it is same. But then, depending upon the name of the method, accordingly we solve it by that particular type. Achha. Now, when we solve a particular problem, we'll get a solution. Okay, we'll get a solution. That solution is called as IBFS. The solution is called as IBFS. So they will ask you to calculate the IBFS. What is IBFS? What is IBFS? IBFS means initial basic feasible solution. Initial basic feasible solution. Okay, so that is called as IBFS. So they will ask you to find the IBFS under the NWCM method, or IBFS under the LCM method, or IBFS under the VAM method. That will be the type of the question. Okay, so this is initially what we have got to learn. Now, what we are going to do next is, we are going to solve the problem. So first step, see whether demand is equal to supply. If demand is equal to supply, balanced transportation problem, go for solving by any of the three methods. Suppose the demand is not equal to supply, convert the unbalanced transportation problem to a balanced transportation problem by adding a dummy row or a dummy column. Okay, that is second. And when we are solving the method, after we solve the method, the solution that is called as the initial basic feasible solution, or simply called as basic feasible solution. Now, as such, we say that the number of allocations which are done, for example, I select a particular row or a particular column and it gets selected. So this row gets selected, this row gets selected, this particular cell gets selected. So whichever cells get selected, okay, whichever cell gets selected, I'm just putting on random basis, should be equal to. So how many allocations have been done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 allocations are done. Okay, so 6 allocations are done. Now it means that there are 6 allocations in my current problem. Wherever I put the tick marks, they are called as allocations. I'm having 6 allocations. Now this should be equal to, m plus n minus 1. That is number of rows plus number of columns minus 1. How many rows are there? 1, 2, 3 rows are there. How many columns are there? 4 columns are there. So 3 plus 4 minus 1. Is it equal to 6? Yes, it is equal to 6. So if there are 6 allocations and your m plus n minus 1 is also equal to the number of allocations, okay, then we say that it is a non-degenerative solution. It is a non-degenerative solution. But if the number of allocations, if the number of positive allocations is less than m plus n minus 1, then we say that it is a degenerative solution. The given solution is a degenerative solution. So they may ask you to write the nature of the solution, whether it is generative or degenerative or non-degenerative. Okay. So if m plus n is equal to number of positive allocations, then in that case, what do we say? We say that it is a, I'll write it over here. If number of allocations equals to m plus n minus 1, then it is called as non-degenerative solution. Okay, and if the number of allocations, if number of positive allocations is less than m plus n minus 1, then the solution is said to be a degenerative solution. These are the terms used. Okay, degenerative solution. Up till here it is clear. Any questions? Anybody wants to ask anything? It can't be more, dear. Whether it is equal to or it is less than. Even if it is more, then you can say this degenerative solution. Normally it will not be more, it will be less. Okay, so these are the routes which are being followed for calculation of solution. Now, coming to know of this now, once we come to know these particular terms, then we'll go for solving of problem. But first of all, let us revise these terms. Concepts in TP. TP is transportation problem. Existence of a feasible solution. A necessary and sufficient condition for the existence of a feasible solution is that the total capacity, that is total supply, must be equal to total requirement, that is total demand. That means one of the first and basic conditions for any transportation problem to be solved. That is why I told you that is the first step. Is what? Is that total capacity must be equal to total requirement or demand. Okay? When total capacity equals total demand, the transportation problem is called as a balanced transportation problem. And otherwise it is known as a unbalanced transportation problem. Okay? Come to point number 4. Number of positive allocations at any stage of feasible solution must be equal to number of rows plus number of columns minus 1. That is m plus n minus 1. Okay? When the number of rows, positive allocations at any stage of the feasible solution is less than the required number, the solution is said to be degenerative solution. Solution is said to be degenerative solution. Okay? These are the things, important things that you've got to know. The last one you can just read it. Prohibited routes, where it is not possible to transport the goods. Sometimes the areas are hilly areas, rocky areas, mountainous areas. So no driver is willing to go there. to transport the goods. So it is not possible to transport the goods. Or the roads are very bad. So no transportation, no driver is willing to take his vehicle on that particular road. Then we say that it is a route which is prohibited route. How to indicate that it is a prohibited route? We allocate a very high cost to that route, a very high cost to that route, and that cost is say M, because we don't know what is the cost now. Once the cost is very high, we are not going to transport the goods there at all. Fine. So suppose your cost of transportation of 1 unit of a particular commodity is say 10 rupees or maximum 20 rupees. What we'll do is we'll assign a very high value like 500 rupees. So if you tell me that where goods are being transported at a normal maximum transportation cost is 20 rupees per unit, and to a particular area which is a very rocky area, which is a very hilly area, nobody wants to go there. One particular person, one driver has agreed that he will transport the goods there. But he says, sir, I will charge you 500 rupees per unit. I'll say get lost. Why? Because 500 rupees per unit I can't afford. So the cost is very high per unit. So I will ban that route. So that is called as a prohibited route. Okay. So that is the point. But in your inter-level problems, don't worry. There will be no such prohibited routes as such. Maximum you will be playing with this particular points only. Okay. I'm using the word playing now because it's a game only. It is nothing. It is a game. It's just a game. You will enjoy the solving of transportation problem. It is like a game. Crossword puzzles are there. It is like that. So nothing to worry. So as I said, 3 methods. The first method is northwest corner method. Now what do we do in a northwest corner method? Normally the following steps are followed for this method. Find the minimum of supply and demand values with respect to the current northwest corner cell of the cost matrix. Got to find out northwest corner cell. Achha, let us go back to our problem. We'll go back to our question, our example. My nice little example here. Let us come to the example. Okay. Let us have this as a balance problem. Balance problem. Okay. Now, let us take some values over here. This is just example I'm showing you. We'll take some values here. 5, 10, 12, 11, 6, 8, 9, 10. All these values will be given to you in the question. 5, 4, 7, 6. Okay, these all values are given to you. Now tell me, we are using the word north and west. Okay, we are using the word north and west. North means top part of the matrix. This entire thing is called as a matrix. North means top part of the matrix or the bottom part of the matrix. Tell me. North means which direction? The top part or the bottom part? North means above or below? Top part of the matrix or the bottom part of the matrix? Tell me. Fast. North means always the top part. Correct, na? North. Kashmir is in the north. Telangana is in the south. Yes, na? So, north means top part. Which is the topmost part of the matrix? That is what I'm asking. Topmost part of the matrix. Topmost part of the matrix is this part. Correct? This is the topmost part of the matrix. Followed? North part. North part of the matrix. But the method is northwest, sir. Acha, west means to the left or to the right? Where is left? West means to the left or the right of the matrix. Telangana is on the western coast of India or is on the eastern coast of India? Where is Telangana? On the western coast of India or eastern coast of India? Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam, western coast or eastern coast? Ayo. Srihamsini. Sai Ganesh. Telangana, Visakhapatnam is on the western side or eastern side of India? Eastern side now. What is your state here? Telangana state. Where it is in the map of India? Map of India. Where it is on the western side or eastern side? Eastern side now. ऐसा नको बोलू. Eastern side. Okay. Okay. So west means on the left or west means on the right? Tell me that now. West means on the left or west means on the right? Map of India. Map of India. Imagine map of India. Bombay is on the west side of the map or on the east side of the map. Left hand side or right hand side? Where is Bombay? Bombay is on the western side now. So western side means on the left hand side or right hand side? Western side means the left hand side or the right hand side? West means what? West means what? Left side. Good. I think one day I will have to call you for lectures on English language and directions. You map of India, I'll have to draw and tell you what is the north and what is the south and what is the east and what is the west. West is on the left hand side here. So left hand side of this particular map is this part. Correct now? This part is the western side. Okay. So northwest means what, dear? What is the common area now? What is the common shaded area? The common shaded area is this part. Correct now? Common shaded area is S1, D1. So whenever I say northwest corner, remember that I'm saying northwest corner. So topmost of that particular matrix, leftmost of that particular matrix. So this is the part over here, S1, D1. So I will start with that first cell on the leftmost part of the matrix. Okay, leftmost part of the matrix. Okay, point is clear now. So what do you start with? Northwest corner. Northwest corner means what? Northwest corner means that I'm going to have some figure which is on the topmost part. Okay, topmost part, this part. Fine? Some figure is there. Now, so I start with this cell. Now, when I look at this cell, What do I find? I go to the row that is corresponding to. What is the row corresponding to it? S1. Okay. What is the row corresponding? S1. What is the supply at S1? 20. What is the column corresponding to the cell? D1. What is the quantity demanded? 8. Okay. So tell me, quantity demanded is 8 and quantity available is 20. Will I supply entire 20 units at D1? No. I will not supply entire 20 units at D1. I can supply 20 units maximum, but I will not supply all 20 to D1. D1 requires only 8 now. Only 8 is required. So what do I write? The minimum of 20 and 8 I write in this cell. Topmost part. What do I write? 8. Okay. That means 8 units are demanded, 8 units will be supplied. So if 8 units are supplied over here, will the demand be satisfied? Yes, demand will be satisfied. Demand will become 0 here. Out of 20, 8 units are supplied. So how much is remaining? 20 minus 8. How much is remaining? 12 is remaining. Okay, 12 is remaining. Now, after doing that, I will see one of the two places there will be a 0 for sure. One of the two places there will be a 0. Now, where is the 0? The 0 is for D1. Wherever that 0 comes, that particular row or that particular column gets cancelled. Gets cancelled. So, what will get cancelled? D1 will get cancelled. Because for S1 there is still some number here. The number is 12. That has to become 0. Then only I can cancel that. So wherever that 0 comes, that particular row or that particular column gets cancelled. So now D1 is no longer there in my table now. Okay, and this 20 has reduced to 12. All other figures remaining the same. Achha, now what do I have with me? I have D2, D3, D4 and S1, S2, S3. Okay. Now, which is the northwest corner here? So this is the northwest corner. Okay, fine. Here I put. Corresponding row has got what value? 12. Corresponding column has got what value? 17. Which is the minimum of the two? 12. So I write that 12 over here. So required is 17 at D2, destination 2, interpretation. 17 is required. But how much can I supply? I can supply maximum 12, sir. Maximum 12 is there now at S1. I cannot supply more than 12. So S1 can supply maximum 12. So out of 17, how many units are supplied by S1? So 12 units are supplied. After 12 units are supplied, what is the demand here? 5. 17 minus 12. What happens here? S1, 12 minus 12. This becomes 0. Did you understand? Achha, where is the 0 now? 0 is for S1. So what will happen? This row gets cancelled. Now what is balance? This is balance. Correct? Huh? This is balance. Now, which is the northwest corner here? Which is the northwest corner here? This is the northwest corner. Because in this particular table, now we have only this portion. So topmost part and the leftmost part is this. Northwest. Okay. Now, what is the corresponding row over here? 30. What is the corresponding column over here? 5. Minimum of the two is what? 5. I write 5 here. So demand of D2 is met. 5 minus 5 is 0. Out of 30, 5 are supplied here. How much is balance? 25 is balance. Where is the 0? 0 is here. So this row, this column gets cancelled. Now what is balance? 9, 10, 7, 6. Out of these 4, which is the topmost and the leftmost? 9. So I put 9 over here. Block over here. What are the corresponding figures here? 25 and 15. Which is the minimum of the two? 15, sir. Right, 15. 15 minus 15, this becomes 0. 25 minus 15, this becomes 10. Where is the 0? For D3, 0 is there, sir. So D3 column gets cancelled. Now what is left? 10 and 6. Which is the topmost here? 10. What are the corresponding figures? So 20 over here and 10 over here. Which is minimum? 10 is minimum. 10 minus 10 is 0. This becomes 0. 20 minus 10, this becomes 10. What cancels? This cancels. What remains? 6. Row 6, column 10. Both are 10. Allocation is done. Okay. So that is northwest corner method. Enjoyable. Huh? Where do you feel that you are solving a question? You feel that you are solving a puzzle. Isn't it? Achha, now comes the most important thing. How many allocations have been done? How many allocations have been done? Look at the allocations now. How many allocations? One allocation. Second allocation. Third allocation. Fourth allocation. Fifth allocation. Sixth allocation. How many allocations? 6 allocations. 6 allocations. What do we say? We said that number of allocations. Achha, m plus n is equal to m plus n minus 1 is equal to what? How many rows are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 rows are there. How many columns are there? 4 columns are there. Minus 1. 7 minus 1, 6. Number of allocations equals to m plus n minus 1. So what do we say? What do we say? It is a non-degenerative solution. Non-degenerative solution. Understood? If you have understood, write yes in the chat box, or you can just put a thumbs up also. Okay. So this is how we solve northwest corner method. Okay. So now let us see the steps. Huh? We have seen, now see in the examination and when you're solving now also, this cancellation and writing of new numbers and all these things, now whatever I've written in blue over here, that you have to do in pencil. Don't cancel with pen. Don't cancel with pen. You have to do it in pencil. Am I clear? Cancellation of rows, cancellation of columns, cancellation and writing of new numbers at the side and at the bottom. All this should be done in pencil. Only the main figures should be in pen. Am I clear to all of you? Otherwise, at the end of the problem, what is going to happen is that everything is, you are going to cancel everything in pen. Examiner will not know whether you have cancelled the problem or you have solved the problem. Okay? Point is clear. Okay. So, let us read now what is written in my material. So, what we said was, find the minimum of supply and demand values with respect to the current northwest corner cell of the cost matrix. Then what to do? Alternate this minimum value in the current northwest corner cell and subtract this minimum from the supply and demand values with respect to the current northwest corner cell that we have done. Check whether exactly one of the row or column corresponding to that northwest corner cell has zero supply or zero demand after subtracting. If yes, then go to step number 4, otherwise go to step number 5. Okay. If yes, then step number 4, delete that row or column with respect to the current northwest corner cell which has the zero supply or zero demand and go to step number 6. Check whether exactly one row or column is left out. If yes, go to step number 7. Match the supply or demand of that row or column with the remaining demand or supply of the undeleted columns or rows. Go to phase 2. That means again repeat the same thing over and over again till you come to the last point. Have you understood? Okay. Shall we take up questions based on this? Okay. Come to Question number 1. Question number 1. Obtain an IBFS for the following transportation problem by using Northwest Corner method, NWCM. Okay. Distribution center, you are having 4 distribution centers. D1, D2, D3 and D4. Factories, you are having 3 factories from which you can reach out to the 4 destinations or distribution centers. Factory number 1, F1, F2 and F3, 3 factories. Okay. Availability at factory F1 is only 18 units. Availability of factory F2 is 3 units. Availability of factory F3 is 30 units. Requirement at D1 is 21. Requirement at D2 is 15. Requirement at D3 is 9. Requirement at D4 is 6. Okay. First we'll prepare this table. You have to redraw this table. Chalo. Open your notebooks. Let us do the drawing. Solving of transportation problem. Northwest Corner method. B1, B2, B3, B4. Availability. Factory 1, F1, F2, F3. Requirement. Copy down the figures as they are. Copying is very important. Just like in the exam you copy from your friends, same way you have to copy from your question to your notebook. I am joking. Don't copy in the exam. Copy correctly. +18 + 3, 21, 21 + 30, 51. Supply is 51. What is the demand? 21 + 9 is 30. 45 + 6, 51. So it's a balance problem. Done. Okay. Now I'll start solving. Put your pens down, take out your pencil. Okay, northwest corner, topmost, leftmost. So I go for first one, F1 D1. Okay, corresponding row availability 18, demand 21. Lower of the two, 18 or 21, 18. Okay, 18 minus 18, so this will become 0. Right at the side here, 0. 21 minus 18, it will become 3. 0 is there for the row F1. So entire F1 row gets cancelled. Lightly in pencil. Pencil also you don't press and scribble on that page. Just one light line, just to indicate for yourself that that row is not there. Go on, don't do like this. You're not supposed to do like that. Don't behave like kids. Okay. One small simple line across is sufficient for you to understand, for examiner to understand. Otherwise, you'll start, darkening it and cancelling till that number goes, and you are scribbling so much that it goes on to the next page also. Okay. Everything is blue today. Now the sky is blue. My T-shirt is blue. The ink is blue. Everything is blue. So next one. Now F1 is not there. Starting with F2, F2, F3, and then D1, D2, D3, D4. The topmost is this now, and the leftmost is this. Corresponding row has got 3 as availability, and what is over here? 3 as the availability here. So minimum is 3 only. 3 minus 3 is 0. This 3 minus 3 is also 0. Now 0 is there for row also, 0 is there for column also. Cancel both. Wherever 0 comes, cancel. Cancel this, cancel this. Problem over. Now next, we have got only now 32, 60 and 36. Leftmost and the topmost. There is nothing top over here. Everything is down. Leftmost. Corresponding 30 and 15. Whichever is less, 15. 30 minus 15 is 15. 15 minus 15 is 0. 0 comes here, to this row gets cancelled. What remains? D3 and D4, 60 and 36. Leftmost. So leftmost is this. Okay. What are the figures now? 9 and 15. Minimum is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. 15 minus 9 is 6. 0 is 0, D3 gets cancelled. Last one. Only one cell is there. 6 and 6. Right at 6. This will become 0. This will become 0. This row is cancelled. This column is cancelled. Now, by doing this, what have you got? IBFS. How to write? Pay attention. IBFS, how to write? My first allocation was done in F1 D1. this one. That is first row, first column. First row, first column. So I call it as now X12. Always row is written first, column is written second. Okay, X12 is equal to 18. X12 is equal to 18. Then this one, F2D1. F2D1. That I'll call it X21. Second row, first column. First number is always the row. Second number is always the column. Second row, first column. How much? 3. Then tell me, next one, X3. And the row is second, X32. 15. X34. 33. X33 is equal to 9. And X34 is equal to 6. This is your IBFS. Initial, basic, feasible solution. Okay. What can be asked in the examination? The minimum transportation cost. How to calculate minimum transportation cost? Wherever allocations are there. 18 units have been supplied at 8 rupees per unit. So 18 into 8 plus. Next one is 3 into 4. Next one is 15 into 32. Next one is 9 into 60. Go on multiplying. Next one is 6 into 36. Chalo, calculate now. I'll use my calculator. 18 into 8 is 144. 3 into 4 is 12. 15 into 32 is 480. 9 into 60 is 540. 6 into 36 is 216. Take the total of all this. Okay. So first they will ask you IBFS. Second, they can ask you minimum transportation cost. Now, third, they can ask you whether it is what type of solution it is, or comment upon the solution, whether it is degenerative or non-degenerative. How many allocations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 allocations are there. Number of allocations. Number of allocations equals to 5. 5 allocations. Okay. M plus N minus 1 is equal to, M is number of rows, 3 rows, plus 4 columns minus 1 is equal to 6. So what is this? It is a degenerative solution. Nature of solution. It is a degenerative solution. Nothing more than this you are supposed to know. These are 3 things maximum they will ask. Maximum. Okay, maximum they will ask you three parts: IBFS, minimum transportation cost, and what type of solution it is. Now tell me whether you have understood or not. Go through the entire solution. Sai Ganesh, are you there? Have you understood? Sai Ganesh, have you understood? Okay. So that is your method of solving northwest corner method problems for transportation. Let us take one more question. Question number 2. All this is coming under your chapter number 4 or unit 4 of your study material module. You may be wondering what is sir doing, not referring to study material at all, is doing his own things. No, I know what is there in the syllabus. I'm going as per the syllabus only. So I started with the last part first. I started with LPP first. LPP is given in your study material last. So I've started from there, and then I've come to transportation. Then I will go to other methods. And if you are finding that too much of calculations are there, we can start with SM section also, where we can take up the theory part of SM and complete it. 3 chapters are there, 3 small chapters. Okay, don't worry, we'll be completing soon. Question 2. Obtain an IBFS for the following transportation problem by using Northwest Corner method, NWCM. Same thing. Once again, check first time before you solve the problem. Always check first. What you have to check: demand is equal to supply or not. 10 plus 12. If I'm taking this now, 10 plus 12 is 22, 32, 40. This is 40. How much is this coming to? 9 and 11, 20, 13 and 7, 20. 20 and 20, 40. So both are 40. So no need to add any dummy. Okay. Chalo, copy down this now. Fast. Refer the table. Copy down the data. Solving of transportation problem. Northwest corner method. Origin 1, origin 2, origin 3. It is not 01, 02, 03. It is 01, 02, 03. That is origin 1, origin 2, origin 3. 7467. 54411. 69213. 8259. 10 12 80. 40 40. Now take pencil. Do it slowly, do it systematically. Problem is very simple. Don't make copying mistakes. Copy down the figures properly. Topmost leftmost corner. Corresponding supply 10. Corresponding demand 7. Minimum of the two 7. 7 minus 7 0. 10 minus 7 3. Whichever row or column becomes 0, cancel it out. D1 to be cancelled. Now, topmost leftmost corner. Topmost leftmost corner. Northwest corner. Corresponding demand, supply is 3. Corresponding demand is 11. Whichever is minimum, 3. 11 minus 3, 8. 3 minus 3, 0. First row gets cancelled. Topmost leftmost corner. Supply is 12. Demand is 8. Minimum of the two, 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. 12 minus 8 is 4. Column becoming 0. Topmost leftmost corner. Corresponding supply 4. Corresponding demand 13. 4. 13 minus 4 is 9. 4 minus 4 is 0. Row becomes 0. Topmost, leftmost. Abhi topmost nothing is there. Only leftmost you have to see. Corresponding supply 18. Corresponding demand 9. Minimum is 9. 9 minus 9 0. 18 minus 9 is 9. D3 will cancel. IBFS X1, X1 2. First row, sorry, X1 1. First row, first column, 7. First row, second column, 3. Second row, second column, X22, 8. Second row, third column, X23, 4. X3, 3. Third row, third column, 4. Sorry. X3, 3 is 9. X3, 4 is 9. Correct, huh? Minimum transportation cost. 7 into 7. 3 into 5, 8 into 4, 4 into 9, 9 into 2, 9 into 5, 49 plus 15 plus 12 plus 36 plus 18 plus 45. Tell me the total. So yeah, this is 32. 8 fours are 32. My mistake. Total 50, 64, 66, 96, 102, 132, 150, 160, 195. Number of allocations. How many allocations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. M plus n minus 1. How many rows? 3 rows. How many columns? 4 columns. Minus 1. That is also 6. Therefore, it is a what? What type of solution? Non-degenerative solution. Okay? Enjoying now. Transportation problem. Enjoying, is it? Yeah. Sai Girdan, are you able to understand? Sai Girdan, you are awake now? Okay. Very good. Harshita, are you able to understand? Okay. Where is my favorite student? Is she there or not there? Madhupriya, are you able to understand? Okay. So now let us come to question number 3. Why I'm asking individual students? So some of the students, if I'm able to get the response, I can understand whether you are able to get the solutions, understand the solutions or not. Don't feel shy to ask any difficulty, any problem. In fact, some of you, as I told you, you are asking me on the WhatsApp also. But give me some time to get back to you. Immediately, I will not be able to respond. But give me some time. I will get back to you and give you the answer. Fine. It may take 24 hours. Give me 24 hours time. Question number 3. Consider the given transportation problem. Find the IBFS under the NCWM. Now, we are given 5 markets and 4 plants. Plants means manufacturing units. My main concern is what demand and supply. That has to tally. Let us see this now. 300 plus 500, 800, 800 and 825, 1625, 17 and 3, 2000. No? This is 2008. Just check. Am I right? It is 2000. 800, 1600, 1900. Fine. Check the supply, check the demand. 350 and 250, 350 and 250, 600, 1000 and 550, 1550, 1550. This is 2000. This is 1550. Okay. So what is going to happen now? It is not a balanced problem. It is an unbalanced problem. Correct? Up till now we were doing balanced problem. Now it is unbalanced problem. So to balance the problem, what is less here? Supply is less or demand is less? What do I have to add? I have to add dummy demand or dummy supply? Dummy demand, correct now? So dummy demand or dummy supply. Demand has to increase by 450. So what I will do, this side, this part has to increase. So I will have one more M6. Market, I will have one more column here. I will have M6 here. And in that, what will be the balance? 450. So that this becomes 2000. M6 will come. Okay. So let us now prepare the table. So markets में we will have M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6. Supply. P1, P2, P3, P4. Copy down the numbers properly. 10, 6, 8, 14. 10, 6, 8, 14. 350 total. This is my demand. 218, 422. 218, 422. 400. Then 16, 12, 14. 16, 12, 14. 20 and 250. Then 14, 13, 12. 14, 13, 12. 8 and 150. Then 10, 16, 10. 18 and 400. This will be 450. 300, 500, 820. 2000, 2000. In M6, all the figures will be 0 because it's a dummy column. Solving of transportation problem. Northwest corner method. Okay. Now use your pencil. Topmost leftmost corner. Supply 300. This is 350. Minimum is 300. 350 minus 300 is 50. 300 minus 300 is 0. First row will cancel out. Topmost leftmost corner. 50 and 500. Minimum is 50. 50 minus 50 is 0. 500 minus 50, 450. M1 will cancel. 450 and 400. Minimum is 400. 400 minus 400 is 0. 50. M2 will cancel. 50 and 250. Minimum of the two is 50. 250 minus 50 is 200. 50 minus 50 is 0. This row is cancelled. Topmost leftmost. 825 and 200. So 200. 200 minus 200 is 0. 625. And 3 will cancel. 625 and 150. So 150 will come. 150 minus 150 is 0. 625 minus 150 will be 475. And 475. 400 is minimum. 400 minus 400 is 0. This will give me 75. This will cancel. 75 here. 375. This will cancel. X11 300. X21 50. X22 400. X23 50. X33 200. X34 150. X35 400. X3675, X46375. So calculate the minimum transportation cost and tell me. Minimum transportation cost. Anybody answer? Sriyansini, you have to check your calculations. Sriyansini, answer is not correct. Check your calculations. Transportation cost should be 19,700. 19,700. Okay. Now, allocations. How many allocations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 allocations. M plus N minus 1. Tell me how much. Generative or non-degenerative? Degenerative or non-degenerative? Non-degenerative, correct. Fine. So that means now you are able to understand and identify type of solution. Very good. IBFS we are able to calculate, and the minimum transportation cost also you are able to calculate using the northwest corner method. Okay. So as of now, transportation problem, we have done one method of solving the problem. And I'm sure all of you have understood the method. We have taken 3 questions based on that. All the 3 questions I assume you have understood. Okay. So next time, that is in the next lecture tomorrow, I'll be doing the second method and third method. Okay. Then we'll take up a comprehensive question and see what type of questions can be asked in the examination. Little difficult question also we will do, so that we get to know as to how to solve if a difficult question comes in the examination. Okay. So we'll stop here for today. We'll continue tomorrow at the same time, 3:45. Right? Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Have a nice day.